Well, we're really positive about the fall ball that we had. Last year, I think we did a little bit better than we were expected to do. Not within ourselves, but maybe from the outside, because we had a lot of guys that were freshmen playing for us. Seven, I think, of our top 20 players were freshmen last year. And so those guys are all back now as sophomores. And I've always found that the biggest improvement in development during the college career is between the freshman year and the sophomore year. So we were fortunate enough to have all those freshmen contribute and have success. It's rare when that many freshmen contribute on a really good team that had a really good season. And unfortunately, we were able to do that. So now I'm excited to have those sophomores come back and have all that experience and improve. And while we lost some really key leadership in our senior class last year and some really outstanding players, overall we have a lot more coming in, I think, than we had going out in terms of being on the field. So we'll have another group of freshmen that'll really give us a shot in the arm this year. That should add to what we did last year. So we were able to, I think, pick up where we left off from last season early in fall ball, and I liked where we finished up at the end of fall ball. And obviously, you guys always mention David Dixon when talking about our team. We did move him down to attack. The best thing he does is see the field and set up situations. He's done a terrific job this fall of going to the cage hard. Even with our early slide defense in practice, he's found a way to get to the cage, which is great for him because now people really are going to have to slide to him. But he's always going to be behind the goal this year as an attackman. So when we have him and Sean Doyle and guys like behind the goal, and then guys like Todd Heritage cutting through the crease, or guys setting up top like Thomas Flibbit with a really hard shot. And we have a little bit more balance this year. And Doyle's become a better player. David Dixon's become a better player because the two are now always working together behind the goal. And it's tough when you have two guys with really high lacrosse IQ that have the crease to help, knock defenders off their path, or things happen so quickly for the defense to react to guys 5-6 feet away from the goal. It's been real interesting trying to defend those two together all fall. And then when we scrimmaged UMBC and Penn State in the fall, they did well as well. So I like the dynamic that we have with our attack. Well, it probably starts with Jackson Place, who's started. Now this will be his fourth year because he played a lot and started some games as a freshman as a long stick midi. But Jackson is the kind of defenseman that can cover the other team's best player, whether it's a large person like Garrett Thule, who we no longer have to contend with, or a really small, quick guy. Jackson has the strength to cover big, strong attackmen, and he has the quickness to cover other guys. Having said that, we still slide to Jackson, but it's nice when we can have him, be on that island a little longer than we normally expect people to. And then Ben Keller, who's a junior, he didn't play his freshman year. He was starting, and then he tore his ACL at the end of fall ball 2 years ago. He played all of last year, started every game. He did well, but he probably had the best fall of any of our defensemen this year in terms of improvement. And so he's been playing really well on the defensive end. And then the third spot could go to one of three guys. Right now it could be sophomore Eric Monfort, who's a terrific athlete who played offensive midfield in high school. And then last year he was a face-off guy for us, but he had some broken bones in his foot, so he had to miss most of last year. And then this year we decided to put a long stick in his hands, and he's been going back and forth between long stick midi and close defense. We have Brad Dotson, who stands at 6'7", has come in right from maybe the second or third week and played as the third defenseman, and he handles the ball exceptionally well, and he understands the defense. It took him a while to get going on the slides and get going on time. It's really hard, in our scheme to actually just let yourself go and stop covering your guy and just go leave and slide and all that kind of stuff. But he's taken to that very well, and so he's certainly a strong candidate. And then Evan Bernstein, another freshman defenseman from Mountain Lakes, has bounced back and forth from long stick midi to close defense, and he could be that third guy. And then up at long stick midi, we have Alex Spring, who started last year every game, and was one of the best players that we had on defense last year. And he's terrific on the wings, and intercepts a lot of passes and clears the ball very, very well. And now in his sophomore year has a terrific understanding for the defense. But with the freshmen and our scheme, we really preach for those guys to just make a decision, even if it's the wrong decision. Make a decision as soon as possible. If you're not sure you're supposed to go slide, then go. If you're not sure where to go somewhere, and the rest of us will figure it out. But if you get stuck in purgatory and you're not sure where to go, it kind of slows the whole defense down. So we've at least now got those freshman guys in the mode of, it's better to make a wrong decision than no decision. It's better to go early than late. It's better to have two than none. It's better to be high than low. We've got all these different terms to kind of simplify it for them. But they've really come along, and I feel confident that we'll be able to play the defense that we're used to playing.